Morning everybody, welcome to Talk Tuesday. This is take 2 because when I started in my usual room, the video got paused because I had a bad internet connection. So I'm hoping that we will get through this now in a different location without it dropping out, and apologies if it does. So without further ado, I will get on to today's topic, which is all about cultivating joy. Now, excuse me, as you may know, joy is the highest vibration emotion. And as humans, in our hearts, it's something that we all want. But we actually tend to pursue happiness rather than joy. And the difference between the two is that happiness is transitory and it can come from external things, whereas joy is it's internal, and it's that deep sense of joy which is different from happiness. Now, it's actually quite difficult to describe what joy feels like, but you will know it when you feel it, and you will probably recall moments of joy in your life. The problem with happiness, excuse me, and it's not a problem in the sense that it's great to have happy moments, but they tend to be moments, tend to be transitory. And also, we tend to look for it in outside things. So we'll say to ourselves, oh, I'll be happy when I've got a new house, or I'll be happy when I've got a new partner, or when I lose weight. And that's relying on external things and thinking those are going to make us happy. But as I said, joy is an internal thing, and it's really about internal peace, being at peace with who you are, where you are in life, and really accepting all of that. Excuse me, I've got a real frog in my throat this morning. And if you do have a joyful attitude, then it's something that lasts and it can carry you through moments that aren't necessarily happy. You just have a joyful outlook on life. And because it is an internal thing, it's something that you can create for yourself, which is where cultivating joy comes in. And it occurred to me because I had a conversation with somebody the other day who just sort of said, oh, I don't like this life. And I was talking about how that person could create the life that they wanted to be more joyful. Now, the things that will bring you joy will not necessarily be the same for everyone, but if I give you a few things that you can do where you could find joy, or that could lead to joy, then hopefully that will be helpful to you. So a very common one is looking after a pet, because bonding with that pet can bring you true lasting joy. Another one, as a way to get to joy, which is one of my favourites that I talk about all the time, is to start and maintain a gratitude practice. And that means practicing being grateful every day for things in your life. And it can be hard when you start it, if it's something that is new to you. But with practice, it becomes so much easier, and then you just get used to feeling gratitude in your day for what's happening. And that brings about a much more joyful feeling inside you. It attracts good things to you as well, but those things can be transitory, which goes back to the difference between joy and happiness that I was talking about. But what it really can do for you, and it does do if you keep it up, is to just make you more joyful in each moment. So I highly, highly recommend a gratitude practice. I've talked about it at length before, and if you want some more advice about how to do it or what it can do for you, then I'd be more than happy to talk to you about it. Another thing that, again, I do talk about a lot, I know, is meditation, but meditation is great for bringing about that peace internally. And again, it can be hard initially, and you won't meditate once or even twice, or maybe even 10 times and think, I feel peaceful now, I don't need to do it anymore. It's about a continued practice, about a continued just sitting in stillness, being with yourself, because that over time generates that feeling of peace and that feeling of joy. And if you worry about how to start meditation, again, have a chat with me. I'm more than happy to go through that with you. But one easy way that I've told people about before and speak to my clients about is not even a sort of thinking, oh, I'm meditating. Just cultivate moments of stillness in your day. So maybe set yourself 5 minutes each day initially where you just sit down in stillness, no phones on, no social media, no noise. You're just sitting in quiet and you're just being. And that's a start. And, you know, the more that you do that, the more that it can help to bring you peace. But as everything, it's a practice. So like gratitude, meditation is a practice, but these things with time can lead to joy. Then the final point that I wanted to say really in terms of learning how to cultivate joy is to learn first of all what brings you joy, and that might require a little bit of thought. And as I often say, if you're struggling to think of that, then maybe get out your journal and just sort of write instinctively. Ask yourself, well, what brings me joy, or what would bring me joy, and just write it all out in your journal as it comes to you without analysing it. Just scribble it all down, and then when you finish, look back at it and see what those things are, and then start to work on bringing some of those things into your life. So again, it could be different for everybody, but a couple of ones that I love to do are sitting and watching a sunrise or a sunset. Now you could argue that is happiness, but for me, it does bring me genuine internal joy. It completely lifts up my spirits. And I have the same thing if I'm sitting on the beach watching the waves rolling in, because I'm just focusing on those. I think it's the immersing in nature that does it. It's really hard to put my finger on it, but I know watching the waves, or watching the clouds for that matter, makes me feel peaceful and still. And then that leads to that feeling of joy in my heart. And I think it's the same with watching the sunrise or the sunset. And it could be for you, looking at the stars and just, being transfixed by the wonder of nature out there. It brings, certainly to me, that inner joy. And I know I'm not alone in that. But as I say, it's different for everybody. So you need to learn for yourself what brings you joy, and then go about creating that in your life, because the more that you can do that, the more that you will increase the joy in your life generally, and you'll find then that you just start to have a more joyful outlook on life generally. And you will probably know people who have a joyful outlook on life because they just have this aura around them of peace and contentment, and that is something that is truly wonderful to have. So I hope that that's been helpful. As I say, if you want to know more, then do get in touch. I'd love to talk to you. So enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. Thank you as ever for watching. It's lovely to have you here with me, and I will see you again next Tuesday. Bye for now.